Welcome back, my friends, to Marvel Snap. Are the Guardians of the Galaxy competitive now? Well, they just might be. With this deck, we are leveraging Goose and Storm to be able to constrict the opponent's capabilities of being able to play to different locations. Spider-Man in here as well, able to get much higher accuracy on the Guardians, being able to play them to locations where your opponent played on the same turn to be able to gain their increase in power. Daredevil allows us to guarantee hits on the most powerful of all the Guardians, Gamora, and Odin will allow us to reactivate our Guardians to be able to go up and over what the opponent is able to play to a given location. I am running Magik in here as well because extending the game just synergizes well with our other abilities that are going to restrict where the opponent is able to play, able to give us more turns to try and proc hits off of the Guardians and find our big payoff cards in Odin and Gamora. Let's dive into battle here and see if Star-Lord's luck can carry us through this one. If you guys enjoy the Marvel Snap content, then you know what to do. Leave some love on the video with likes, comments down below. That gives us a lot of momentum rolling into the game's full release, and we really want to be able to give the game the attention that it deserves. We've got the Nexus appearing here, which could be an excellent location for us to be able to play around with the Guardians. Something that is drawing the opponent's eye is very reliable for us to be able to score the Guardians' bonuses. You know, they've got the Mojo. Mojo is just as good at the Nexus as he is at Mojo World. Death's Domain. Fantastic. We could play a Sneaky with the Magik to open up the Death's Domain, or honestly the Storm to be able to cut it off. I'm wondering now if the Nexus is too dangerous. We could turn it off if we feel like we are lagging behind. Let's get Groot in there. For a 3-drop, Groot being able to hit his 3-point bonus is an incredibly efficient play. And then if we're looking at a reactivation on Odin in the foreseeable future, then we should be in good shape. Now we come in with the Star-Lord, and we will play the Racoon as well, off on the side. They have the Mr. Fantastic. I don't think that throws too much of a wrinkle against us. As long as we're able to win the Nexus, then we got him. Omega Red. So do you have Iron Man? Onslaught? What's the game? What is the game, my opponent? Okay, so now you are playing on left with a Sarah. Sure. I'll clap that. Or do I want to play Magik? Magik would be able to extend things, but I think that we just play the Gamora. Get the guarantee tag. Gamora is so powerful here. She got buffed recently. Now going up to 7 strength plus 5 if you hit the opponent, able to take you into this 12 strength finale. We snap. Is the opponent going to be able to top us with the Odin coming in, re-triggering both Groot and Star-Lord? So you are hitting the board at 14 points. Their Iron Man adds 9. Don't think that is going to be enough for them. And then for good measure, we'll play the Mantis. Not expecting that to be able to trigger. What's the game? Groot. This is the exact piece that I wanted to be able to come back in with the Odin, understanding they had to play to the Nexus to be able to make the game, and then re-trigger Groot and Star-Lord. Obviously, if you can re-trigger Gamora, then it's even better, but we'll take what we can get. Oh, that claw, incredibly powerful. And then the Captain America. Very close, but the Guardians clutch it out. If you guys want to talk card substitutions or deck optimization, down in the comments, I read all of those. Love chatting with you guys about anything Snap down there. We're going to play Mantis, assuming that the opponent is avoiding the Oscorp Tower. It's nice to see that it is out here early rather than a sneaky play. We have the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut allows incredible play around Oscorp Tower. We can play this to try and knock the opponent's card into Oscorp, which will then be given back to us. That's the goal here. They've got the Nova down. I assume that they're not going to want to destroy the Nova just yet, but they might try and set up a Bucky Barnes on the same location. I'm going to call same location. I feel Guardians just brings the casino game element of snapping, you know, doubling down to a whole nother level. And we lose the Rocket. This is fine. They lose the Iron Man, which I think I came out ahead on that one. And we'll throw Juggernaut, anticipating a play to the Angel. So I'm calling... All of this is predicting the opponent's card plays. They have no idea that I have their Juggernaut, by the way. Send it to Oscorp. Yes! Oh, it's incredible. And they get the Sentinel back to hand, but I get the Sentinel on my side of the board. I heard on stream that people were running the Juggernaut around Oscorp, and I feel like that was one of the most clever adaptations that I had heard. Let's bring in the Spider-Man. I'm gonna make you really work to fill up that Angela location.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Lock it down, Spidey. They've got the White Queen. Pulls Odin for them. Right now they don't have anything developed on board that I would really be worried about Odin reactivating. So now that it is locked up over here, I mean, I wish I had Daredevil. Get a sneak peek in there. Where do we like to deploy Gamora, or do we simply go with Magik and extend our game? We can go, I don't know, the reactivating Odin on the Spider-Man is not as exciting to me right now because I don't have a Guardian to trigger as well, anticipating an opponent trying to rush into that location. So let's throw out the Gamora here to Nova Roma. We got it. Oh, we had some weak calls early on, but so far we've had the soul read on our opponent in the later turns. They pull one of our cards, they get the Killmonger, pops the Nova, distributes the buffs, also kills our Mantis, opens up additional play for them at Nova Roma. It's a very strong tempo play. Takes us up to tied. Oh, no. Okay. Where does the opponent want to go? How are they going to stretch the gameplay? We'll bring Drax here on the Angela, and then Goose, you break the tie, technically. Goose does break the tie. The alternative being Odin to be able to re-trigger Star-Lord and Gamora to make sure that we win Nova Roma, and then the opponent is forced to pass us at both Oscorp and Sokovia. I think that either path is valid. Either path puts a lot of pressure on them. I'm going to go with the Odin. Hold down the center, and the flanks will take care of themselves. That's the goal. Opponent pulled our Odin. They're not going to be able to get a lot of use out of that. Is it Doc Ock? Or not Doc Ock? Is it Doctor Doom? It's Magneto. Oh, okay. Hats off to the opponent on that one. Spider-Man, Daredevil, Goose. Spider-Man potentially around Mojo World can be a huge factor. Just preventing the opponent from being able to get that additional card to the Mojo World. What is Iceman gonna hit? Oh, you got my Goose. My beautiful little Goose. Camartage. Camartage is incredible for us. It's really good for us. Odin on Camartage. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna play Daredevil to be able to keep up the tempo at the Mojo World. We don't need high-powered Mojo World yet, but we just want to be able to keep in step with them. They're playing Ant-Man, Iceman, Electro, so very much a zoo deck. Potentially a bounce deck. Mer Island. Ooh. I want to go to all these locations at once, which is the sign of a very engaging game. We can play... I don't want Goose to lock down Camartage. It's a question of, do I want Star-Lord to have the read on picking up score at Camartage, or do I play Goose to Mer Island to try and lock it down a little? They play 2 cards to Camartage, or Mer Island, not Camartage. Angela and the Sunspot. It's going to give them a lot of scaling power there at the Mer Island. We may simply surrender Mer Island at this point moving forward and come in with Drax to Camartage. Will give us the lead. We get the double hit. Bishop. Nightcrawler. So very much zoo, not necessarily balance. All right, Drax, do your work. Ah, and again. 12 strength Drax. You gotta love it. Okay, we see where the opponent is going this turn. They're sending Nightcrawler across, and then they're playing yet again to Mer Island. This is where we punish. You go Spider-Man, Mantis. That locks up Mojo World for the win. We snap. Because they already moved the Nightcrawler, they can't bring the Nightcrawler back to the Mojo World, which would otherwise be a dangerous factor for us, being able to surmount us.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
So actually, I think that we're ahead by 1 point anyway. Yes, we would be ahead by 1 point anyway, even if they hadn't moved the Nightcrawler to be able to still have the flexibility of moving him into Mojo World. Down by so much of Mer Island, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What are you going to do? Which is actually better? I can play Odin and reactivate Drax 4 times, or I can play Gamora. The question is, does the opponent run Shang-Chi? Well, honestly, I guess it actually doesn't matter. If they run Shang-Chi, they still kill Gamora. So it is the Odin. And Drax will now send his knives forth 4 times in a row. The opponent has nothing. The bot figured that they had nothing worth playing. And that's a win. Here is the deck in all of its glory. I'm not going to say that it's always smooth sailing piloting this deck, but I think this is actually the most competitive that the Guardians have ever been. Daredevil now in the free-to-play Pool 3. If you're climbing deep into the Pool 3 category, you may have Daredevil unlocked. And then also the prevalence of seeing the value of Goose. I think that was something that I was missing before that can really be leveraged to continue to limit the opponent's board space and give you those more accurate triggers on the Guardians cards. So this splash of control, especially the Spider-Man, a card that I think is not getting used enough. Very sneaky, very fun. And then the Odin reactivations gives you that burst of power when you're guaranteed on the last location to need to race your opponent. It is an incredibly fun deck to pilot. Till next time, thank you guys for watching and keep on snapping.